Sorry, buddy, just had a internet issue. Okay, this might sound pretentious, but why am I an author? The reason being, I've been wanting to be an author for many years. But the trouble was, I was never able to find a suitable subject to start writing my first novel. Um, how that happened was I became friends with a trans girl in 2015, and decided to use her story and embellish it as mine. So that's how I actually came in and I started writing, um, where the original incarnation of my novel was called Mel's Fantasy Life. Um, there are some copies still available online that I know of. I'm not sure where. But what I did, that first story came back. It started in 1974 Australia. Now, I don't mention the state, um, only because I don't think it needs to be mentioned. Um, and every single person that is in that novel, which is now Smashwords, is called Mel's Transgender Life Part One. Patreon, it's Mel's Amazing New Life Part One. Um, and what it is, with those, it's actually based on real people that I knew at that time. Um, and some people where I didn't know them, but I thought, okay, I'm going to put these particular people in, and that's what I've done. Um, Now, writing, it's not easy. Some days I can sit down, I can sit in front of the computer, cursor sitting there flashing at me, I'm looking at a blank page. Every time I finish a chapter, I sit down and I just click it down for the next page. So I just got to think where I'm going to go. Um, Other days, I'll be asleep. 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll suddenly get an idea. I'll get up, get the computer turned on, and I'll type for 10 to 12 hours. I'll get probably 6, 7 chapters out of the way in one day. Um, being A lot of people say, "Oh, it's easy being an author, writing a novel and everything like that." It's not, um, especially when you're trying to keep the consistency of the reader engrossed in the story. Um, I actually found the hardest stories to write was my true story, um, because even though I had good times growing up, I also had bad times. And with both, I would go back and I would think and I would cry, especially with when I met the love of my life with her. She's the reason I'm the person I am today. Um, but and I actually cry a lot when I think back to our time together. Um, and I actually regret. I regret a lot of things with her. I really do. Um, if I had the chance of going back 40 years ago, 40 years ago, um, I would. I would change things around. Um, because I've and like um, but once I started writing, once I got the my first novel out of the way, which in those days was Mel's Fantasy Life. That was the first um, incarnation that it was. Um, Once I got that out of the way, um, I was sitting down one day and I was bored. My housemates had gone out. Oh, excuse me. Um, and I thought, hang on, I'm going to write about my true story. So I sat down and I started writing. Um, Now, um, I didn't realise with a lot of stuff that's occurred to me over the years, it was locked away in my brain, in my subconscious. I had no idea, and it wasn't until I started writing and my subconscious started to release all those memories that I suddenly remembered. That now I know why. Um, Now I know why I've never gotten married. why I can't trust people. I have big trust issues with people. Same thing just now. I went up the road to go to the supermarket just now. Waiting to cross the road, there's a car sitting there allowing me to cross. I refused. A, because it wasn't a marked foot crossing. B, I didn't know whether this person had made me as being transgender and wanted to do something to me. C, which is very highly unlikely, she's known somebody else in my past who, there are certain people from my past who do want to see me dead. But like when I started writing that, I did forget a lot of stuff. But I've gone back every so often when I do remember stuff, or when something will happen, like what happened last year. Um, when these accusations were labelled against me last year, I started having nightmares again. And I remembered when I was molested at the age of 6. Now that's something that I had forgotten about for many, many, many years. A phone call I got November 2015. Again, I started having nightmares, brought back to when I was um, um, knocked out, bound and gagged, and tied to the ladies' or the girls' a cubicle for a weekend um, in the middle of winter. And with that, that actually made me infertile, and so I'm going to cry. Made me infertile, and also made me impotent as well. Um, so that really hurt me. But I got to, and I changed around. The good thing about having ebooks means that you can go and change things, add things as you remember them. Now, in a print version, you can't do that. Once it's printed, that's it. You can't do it unless you go and do a revised edition, and that costs another $35, $40 just per book, just for the author. So imagine what it is for you as a consumer going out there and you complain about the cost of books in print. Yeah, it's expensive. That's one reason why I haven't gone to print, because for me, for something that's around about 200 pages, it cost me about $35, I think, to get printed. And that's with the cheapest printer I can find, with me doing all the work, and then just sending it off and they do all the printing for me. So that's one of it. But with ebooks, you can go through and you think, okay, hang on, I forgot this part. Like in Mark's Not So Groovy Life, or Mark's Pathetic Existence, which is my Smashwords title, um, I actually forgot some really important people. So when I did remember them, I came back and I added them into it, because ebooks, simple. Just added them back in, did the formatting. I do with all my novels, with them. I do all the writing, all the cover designs, the formatting, and uploading. So nobody is involved. I used to have an outsourced company, but they got too expensive, and I thought I can't afford that. Um, I was actually given some training on how to do it myself, and you know what? It's easy as. If there are any budding novelists out there who um, do want to get their books formatted and everything like that, I charge $25 up to 50,000 words. Sorry, up to 100,000 words. Sorry. Plus, I give you a free stock cover as well. So, if you're interested, shoot me an email on my profile page. It does have my email address. Shoot me an email. Let me know what you want done, and we'll take it from there. But I find that like even when I went out just now, I thought of something with Mark's story, and I thought, oh, hang on, do I add it or not? I've got to think about it. Sorry. I've only had one coffee today, and which is unusual for me. But like being an author, it gives me the other reason why I'm an author is because I want to I want to raise the money for my surgery. That's one thing at the moment. Um, Also, I want to set up a vegan warehouse, um, which will include an animal sanctuary, which a friend of mine will run. She'll also do the animal grooming. Um, uh, sorry. Um, Then I also want to set up what I'm calling my Steely Centre. Now it's capital S, capital T, capital E, small a, capital L, small I. Stands for Support, Training, Employment and Living Centre. Now that will be for transgenders. Um, Early next year, I will actually do a live stream about what that's all about. What I'll do is I will give advance notice it's going to be occurring. To let everybody know about it. Um, with patrons at the moment on my Patreon page, the first 2,000 who actually sign up or renew each month will be will be invited. They have to stay until when the money comes out in May. Now I have no control over the money. That's done by Patreon. They then take out all their fees and charges, and then they send me the remainder. So I have nothing to do with that money. That's all patrons. So when somebody signs up, they just pay it. Patreon just does all the paperwork. They just send me whatever's left over once it's all finished. But for $5, now this is $5 US per month. Out of that, I have $1 goes to taxes, fees, and charges. Now that's the Patreon stuff. $2 will go to my 4 chosen charities. But what I'm going to do is three of those will be set every month. One of those charities I will post in my update every month. A list of charities for people to actually vote for. Whichever charity is the highest, receives the highest votes every month, will be the charity that is the money's donated to the following month. Now the other $2 that's remaining, that's left over from the money, goes towards my surgery, my basic expenses, and everything like that. So I can continue writing. At the moment, I've got 4 novels that I'm writing. One I'm just about finished. That's actually been up for. That's going to be available to buy in about 6 weeks' time. So I better pull my finger out and get that one finished. But it's okay. It's getting to the business end of the novel. But what I'm doing with that one, I'm not releasing the last chapter. The last chapter reveals who the assailant is, or the assailants are. I shouldn't just say one. There could be more. You'll find out when somebody actually gets to that final chapter. They have to email me. Let me know who they think the assailant is or are. No matter what, I will send them a copy with everything, with the finalized chapter. But also, the first 2,000 who sign up or renew every month, and who are still there at when the money comes out in May, will be invited to my 55th birth anniversary. Now it's BIRTHIVERSARY thank you party, which will be held in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, which will be laughable. Now I will repeat that, laughable. Now that's a hint for where the party is going to be held. Now, Out of those 2,000 people, the first one for those 2,000 who can actually guess where the party's going to be, that person will receive flights or will receive transport to and from Melbourne and accommodation for 7 nights. Now, at the party, um, I will also be randomly drawing 100 names. Um, they receive 2 benefits. One, they receive the box set, which I actually have. There will be Mel's Transgender Life Part 2 is released the following day on Smashwords. They will actually get a copy of it in print, which will be limited edition. There will only be about 110 print copies available. Now, it'll be a nice little box set. I've already got the idea in my head. It'll be a nice little box set that I'll be giving away. They'll receive the voucher on the day. They will pick up their copies the following day. Because the second benefit is they will receive an invitation to my birth anniversary lunch. Nice little intimate gathering. It'll just be about 150 of us. Because I do have some people that I do want to invite down for the not only for the party but also the intimate lunch. So for $5 a month, say you pay now, that's what, $30 to get something where, yeah, it's gonna be a great little party. My box set, I'm estimating it's gonna be around $250, maybe $300. Recommended retail price, it may be higher, I don't know yet. Depends on the printer when I go to get them printed. But just want to say that being an author, it's a lot of fun. Anybody can actually do it. The hardest part is, even if you haven't got the subject, all you need to do is sit down, draw on your life experiences, and start writing. You'd be amazed at how much that you will do. You've just got to have confidence that you can actually do it. It is a lot of fun. I'm learning. I've made many mistakes. I'm with Mel's Transgender Life Part 2. I'm rewriting it and re-editing it. Because with that one, I made some mistakes. My biggest mistake in all my early copies is I didn't put quotation marks where somebody talks. Now, I'm also trialing a new idea. I've got in Mel's Transgender Life, there's a character in there called Lauren. She's based on somebody who I actually knew, who transitioned in the 1950s, and she was a great person. What I'm doing, I'm actually writing her standalone story, but what I'm doing is I'm writing it like a script. So it comes down that way, and it's actually rather interesting. I've had a few people make comments about it, but I actually like the way it is done, because it's easier to understand with how you're going. In Body Swap Murder Mystery, I've done that a little bit. In chapter 16, I think it is. I've done that. Only because of the content in chapter 16, the reasons going on. Now, I've also got two trans girls, two unique girls, whichever carnation decide to buy. That's actually based on a real person. That's the person who I met in 2015. We never actually met in person. We never spoke. We never did video chats or anything like that. We only chatted on social media. We commented on each other's posts on social media. That was it. How this person can actually even think of what they did, that I could have done what they said that I did. But after the epilogue of that, I actually do mention what happened. I also mention what my plans are for my Steely Centre. It's still saying Steam with those. I'm not going to change that. I can just stay as Steam for now. Whoa. Sorry, my lunch just appeared on me. Tastes delicious. Um, Now, the two unique girls or two trans girls erotic version that is for over 18s only. Um, and I've actually written an extended version which has chapter 13 that even when we had winter here, um, I had to reach for ice cold water because it was making me that hot. Now we had some really cold winters here this year, cold days. I had to reach for ice cold water, and I wrote it. So imagine what it's going to be. I'll tell you now. Chapter 13 has 3 cisgender females. Now, if you don't know what that is, that means they were born females and they're happy with their lives. It's got 1 pre-op transgender, 1 post-op transgender, male to female, um, and there's also a pre-op female to male transgender. They all decide to have some fun. Let's just say that they decide to have some fun. Now, none of those are based on anybody that I know. It's just my warped mind that I've got, um, that I decided just to go and put that in. But to say that it is hot, it is very hot and steamy. Um, but every person involved in that novel, which is 2 unique girls erotic version or 2 trans girls erotic version. Now I spell girls as Gurls. Um, um, Everybody's over the age of 18. If there's anything to do with anything sexual, they're over the age of 18. Actually, every person in it is over 18. Um, but Now I've also got my Body Swap Murder Mystery standalone. That's a science fiction novel that I'm writing, which is really testing my brain. Mel's Transgender Life Part 2. Now, Body Swap Murder Mystery, it's coming out. It's being released on Sunday, February the 2nd, on Smashwords. The incarnation that I've got it, the other incarnation I have, sorry, I should say, is BSMM, which will be released in its entirety on Patreon once I've got it finished. So anybody who wants to go and support me on Patreon, they get to see everything before anybody else does. Platinum supporters, as soon as I upload it, they get to see it straight away. Um, so even though it's going to be on Smashwords as another name, the only difference is the cover and the name. That's the only difference. That's the only difference that I've done with that one. So that's February the 2nd that is released. That'll be 99 cents on Smashwords. All my novels right now are 99 cents on Smashwords. They are until the 1st of January. So there's 4 that you can buy at the moment. So if you want to go and buy them, they're yours outright. Just to be able to go and support me, that will be fantastic. You can pre-order Body Swap Murder Mystery, and you can also pre-order Mel's Transgender Life Part 2, which is due out, ironically, Thursday, May 28th, 2020. Now there's a hint there. What does that signify? What is the significance of that particular date? Thursday, May 28th, 2020. I'll let you think about that. Now, I'm also writing another one called My Bus Driving Adventures. At the moment, I don't know when it's going to be released. I've only just started writing it, so I don't know when that's going to be released. It'll probably be the second half of 2020. But if I can get the inspiration, I can go in. Even though it's a true story, I've got to go back and use my brain to think about when that all started and everything like that. I'm also writing another one, and the working title is Lesbian Orgy Week. As you can tell, it's a lesbian sex. Now, what the final title is going to be for those two novels, I don't know yet. They are just my working titles. I might actually release them under those names. I don't know. Chapter 1 of My Bus Driving Adventures is available for Platinum supporters on Patreon. So if you want to go and have a look, and I will release each chapter as I finish it. I haven't done a cover as yet, but I will in coming months. So I will just see how things go. So at the moment, there's no cover for it at all. Mel's Transgender Life Part 3. I will start working on that. Not sure when yet, but I will start. Well, I am working on it. I have already written a few paragraphs of it. I'm just not sure which direction I want to take it. In that, I do have some surprises that are coming up, the same as in Mel's Transgender Life Part 2. There are some surprises. I want to make it every part. It's going to be a different surprise. So I think I know what I'm going to do with Part 3. I just haven't worked it out as yet. So anyway, it's 27 minutes. I think I've rambled on a little bit too long. Just to let you know too that those who do come to my birthniversary party, the final 2 hours of that will be a Q&A, which will be open slather. Well, within reason. So if you are interested in wanting to come to that, please, by all means, go and become a Platinum supporter. $5 a month, and with the chance that, yep, you might be able to be able to come across to Melbourne, spend a week over there. I'm hoping to arrange some nice accommodation. Now, I'm not going to allow partners to come or family members. It's just going to be the one person. It's only for safety reasons and everything like that for the location. So I can't organise anything. But it will be interesting. It'll be a great day. And as I said, the hint is laughable. So all you could do is do a Google search, type in "going Melbourne, Australia," and type in "laughable." I'm hoping that it will actually come up on there. At the moment, I'm not going to say where I'm going to post it, only because I don't have the funds available to actually do it. So once it gets closer to the time, and I've got the funds, and let's put it this way, it's going to be fully catered as well. So there will be food, non-alcoholic drinks. Now the food will be animal product, so for for all tastes, vegetarian and vegan. And every person who attends on that day will go away with a gift bag. It will be a Melbourne, Australia gift bag, which everybody will receive. It'll be something like probably a mug, a ruler, maybe a mouse pad, keyring. I don't know yet. I've got to go through, and once everything starts rolling and I start seeing the numbers coming in, I can see where I can start doing everything. Then I can start planning everything and going and talking to the suppliers and everybody like that. Now, I'm also hoping to have transport organised via trams to the venue. Now, Melbourne does have the biggest tram network in the world. And even for me, I've been living here for 5 years. There's certain parts of Melbourne I've never been to as yet, either by train or by tram or by bus or even just walking. It's amazing. Melbourne is such a big city. Victoria, for that matter, actually. It's it's an awesome place. So anyway, I'm going to let you all go. Thanks for watching. I would have liked more viewers, but hey, it is Wednesday afternoon. People are sleeping. People are at work doing other things. I'm not that important for people. I hope I've provided some more information about with my writing and everything like that. So take care, and I will be organising my next stream. I might do one Christmas Day actually. I might do it. Be nice and quiet at home, so I might actually do one Christmas Day. Now, if you do follow me on Facebook, or you want to talk to me on Facebook, please do that. And I'm quite happy for that sort of thing. If you want to go and become a Patreon supporter, become a platinum supporter, please do. All I want to do is I want to help other people. That's all I want. That's all I want to do. That's the main reason I'm writing. Okay. Thanks for watching, and cheerios.